thanks for coming. It's always a great experience when you show up. Your fans just love you so much.
This is a great community. Yeah, y'all are awesome.
So, can you tell us a little about this project?
Yeah, so I don't know how much experience people have with Morbius, so I'll give the very short history of Morbius. Super short, I promise. Morbius is a science vampire, which means that he does not have all of the weaknesses that your traditional vampire has. He contracted vampirism because he had a rare blood disease and he was trying to cure it, and it involved squeezed bat juice and electricity, and boom, he became a vampire. And since then, he's been trying to rid himself of this new affliction that he caused. So our story picks up with him in Brownsville, in Brooklyn. And he thinks he's cracked it. But, of course, it wouldn't be the beginning of the story if all went right. And so, in his kind of hubris, he has once again made the same mistake. He thinks that he's figured it out, but he's working alone and he's working kind of desperately and cutting corners, and so he ends up making things worse for himself. And that's just the beginning.
Would Spider-Man make an appearance? Because I know he started it, made his first appearance in Spider-Man 101, I think.
Not in the first issue.
Not in the first issue. Okay, so little hints.
Yeah, it's a horror book and also kind of a science book. I play a little with philosophy. Morbius is not as careful a reader of some of the philosophers as some people might like. That's intentional, I promise. Yeah, it's got a lot of the elements that people who are familiar with Morbius will love. It is, introspective and also an action book, but I wanted to make it accessible to people who had never read any Morbius either. So we got to do a lot of fun, kind of rugged stuff with it.
So if you just pick it up, you would know without knowing the history, what the character's about, what the story's about.
Yeah, we tried to cut out as much of the backstory exposition as we could, but we did sprinkle enough in so that if you've never seen it before, you could pick it up. And then for people who had already read it, it won't be retreading the same thing over and over again, hopefully.
So this is, your first book was The Wilds.
Yes.
Right, that was Create Your Own.
That was my first book, yeah, The Wilds.
How many years ago was that?
Not that long ago.
Yeah.
It was under 2 years ago.
Wow, that's so quick.
It's almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in February.
That is so quick. So you just never stop working. Just one book after the other.
Yeah, I live that hustle life. I always say I have to pay my rent, so I try and do as much work as possible. But the truth is that I have been writing since I learned how to read every day. It's compulsive. I can't not. And so I am blessed enough that people are willing to give me a chance to kind of spread it around. So yeah.
So I remember you said you started to work at a comic shop.
Yeah, I worked at Forbidden Planet on and off for about 10 years.
Great shop.
Yeah, great shop. Wonderful shop. Still a lot of people there that I adore, including my co-writer for James Bond, Danny Lore. But yeah, I worked there for years, and I worked at a comic book warehouse in Brooklyn as well. Avalanche of Wonder, not Wonder. Yes, it's been a long time. It's been like 10 years. Yes.
So Planet, the Forbidden Planet had Matt Rosenberg, right?
Oh yeah, Matt Rosenberg, Tyler Boss, like I said, Danny Lore.
Holy cow!
Yeah, a lot of heavy hitters come through Forbidden Planet.
That was like a think tank for rising writers.
It's really great working at a comic shop in general, but working there specifically because everyone that's working there really loves comics, and there's a bunch of artists and writers that come through there, but also people that want to edit or want to, market comics. And so getting to kind of come up together and talk about the industry from the retailer perspective really helps when you're going on the other side.
Okay. So when you were working there, did you always know you wanted to be breaking into comics or being a writer?
I knew I wanted to write, but I would have written anything that people would have paid me for. I started in prose and then went into comics. I'm interested in, television and movies too. I just really love writing and I love storytelling. that is the thing that interests me the most is, you know, connecting with people through telling stories. I didn't think that I could write comics, and then Matt Rosenberg pushed me very gently, very lovingly into pitching, because he saw something in my work and he was like, I think you can do this. I know you can do this. You're just, you know, you're lacking in self-confidence, so I'm gonna pull you along, which is, you know, very kind of him.
Yeah, that's awesome. Was that the DC program?
He definitely helped me prepare for that. We both did the pilot DC Writers Workshop,
Right.
Which was awesome. It was a wonderful experience. But yeah, that was some of my first published work was actually through DC because of the Writers Workshop.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was Scott Snyder was one of the mentors.
Yeah, he was leading it. He's an educator anyway, and so that really came through during the program because, you know, everyone there had experience with writing, but it's a very specific kind of workshop, and it was to kind of show people how to adapt to stories that are essentially modern myths, right? Superhero stories are bombastic and, you know, they have that mythological kind of edge to them. So it was showing people how to kind of break that down and write those, which was really awesome.
Wow, that's interesting. Wow. So he's like almost like a father figure to all your budding artists, right?
There was a lot of people.
Writers,
yeah, I mean artists too, I'm sure. But there are a lot of people that went through that program that I, you know, have been doing lots of really great things in comics before and since. That program was really, really great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Because I remember I did a tour for DC offices, and they were telling me about that program. I said, "Wow, that is so interesting." And then when I heard you came out of that program, I said, "Oh, that's fantastic."
Yeah, Rosenberg was in that program. Chris Sabello was in that program. Mike Marisi, oh my God, Mags, Passaggio, Tony Patrick, a bunch of local people actually. Wow. Funny enough, I mean, Chris and Mike aren't local, but yeah, it was a really great experience.
It's a new generation of writers.
Yeah,
it's just coming out.
Everyone in that program was all about the hustle for sure.
Well, you gotta be hungry though.
Yes,
right?
That's true. You do. Comics is mostly freelance work, so you have to be self-motivated.
That's true. Yeah. So what was next after Wilds?
Wow, good question. I did a couple of shorter things for DC.
What was it? Supergirl 19?
Yeah, Supergirl number 19. I did.
Wonder Woman, right?
I did some Wonder Woman. I did an issue of Batgirl, which is super cool.
That's right.
Yeah. I loved all that stuff. And then I did another creator-owned series through Vault called Submerged.
Yeah.
And that was, And then I think it was like Valiant and Marvel and Dynamite.
Was it Livewire?
I think, Livewire, which just ended, is my first ongoing series actually. That was my very first.
Wow.
It's my longest running.
Which we have our own cover for.
Yes, and it is a very, very good cover.
And then from Livewire, you went to Xena, was it?
I did Xena through Dynamite, which still very proud. Xena's my favorite character of all time. So to be able to work on like official Xena canon was really awesome.
So that was like a dream job, right?
Oh, it was a dream job. Absolutely. I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
So you approached them or they approached you?
I was asked to pitch to see what my kind of take on Xena would be, and they liked it.
Yeah.
I think it helps that like that's my favorite show, and I know that show backwards and forwards, so I know kind of what to cut out and what I can bring forward into like this more contemporary time. I think. Anyway.
Yeah, and those covers are amazing. David Knight covers.
Beautiful. We were blessed. All of the covers on that.
That was a great collaboration.
Yeah.
So after that was it James Bond or?
James Bond is coming out this December. Yeah, I'm co-writing that with Danny. Funny enough, speaking of Danny, that's going to be really great. December is my 10-year friendiversary with Danny, and so this book is coming out in the honor, basically our 10-year anniversary of being friends, which is really awesome.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah. And then anything after that?
It was just announced I'll be writing a Nebula limited series, so that's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's from the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for that. It's coming out in February, and then I am writing an unannounced X-Men book. I can't really give too many details on
secret,
that.
top secret.
Yeah, top secret. But,
Female or male? Oh, okay, really, okay.
well, it's the X-Men, so it's everyone, right?
Yeah, that's true. But it's a self-contained book, or?
All of the Dawn of X books touch on each other, but also are their own stories, which is really nice. Like, you don't have to be reading all of them, but they're all really good, so I suggest it.
So, I mean, I see you at the convention circuit a lot.
Yeah. I like going to shows, and that's a place where you get to talk to all your comics friends that you don't get to see all year, but also just meeting people that are super into comics.
Yeah.
I really love talking to new people and kind of seeing what they're excited about.
Yeah. If you ever meet Vita at a comic book show or at a store, she's the most genuine person you'll ever meet. She's like, it's like an experience.
I'm also a fan. I'm
Yeah.
a big, I've been a nerd my whole life, and it's just really cool to be able to talk to other people that are into it. And I feel really honored to be able to be creating stuff and to be connecting with people through my work.
Would you ever get into like maybe movies, or if they approached you?
I'd give it a hard think.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in television as well. I grew up on TV. I was a
Right.
TV kid, and
Right.
my eyes were square like a TV set. It was a threat that my mom always told me would happen. But I'm really interested in that kind of storytelling because, like comics, I think that television and movies are very accessible in ways that prose aren't necessarily accessible.
Right.
I mean, I love prose. I love novels. I'm a voracious reader, but there's something about TV and comics that, as long as you can engage with the physical or the audio medium, you can be with it. You don't have to be able to read to enjoy comics. You don't have to be able to read to enjoy television, but you can get as much of an experience.
That's true. And then you grew up in New York? Or,
Yeah. Grew up in the Lower East Side, Alphabet City.
Yeah. You must have some stories.
Yeah, I got a lot of stories.
I heard from downstairs that you broke every bone in your body once.
I've broken at least one of every bone in my body at different times.
How is this possible? Because
I was real wild. I'm a Gryffindor.
I cannot imagine. I can't even imagine.
I fell a lot. I jumped off of things a lot. I've gotten into a couple of fights. I've fallen out of moving vehicles.
Oh my goodness.
Never fallen off a horse though. So at least I got that going for me.
So I heard a little bit of the story, and I want to share. She once mugged a mugger.
Yes.
This is the greatest premise for a movie I've ever heard.
I once mugged my own mugger. That is a longer tale that I think I told on Twitter at some point, but if not, I'll have to do it.
We gotta hit this again because this is the first time I'm hearing it. I heard it a little bit, and then I have to get more now.
I'll tell you off the show, so it's not on record because I don't know how long the statute of limitations are.
Oh, okay. Did you take any money back, or?
I mean, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do the whole thing.
Oh wow! Oh my goodness! Holy cow! This is a great story. And then what other bones did you break?
I've broken both my legs.
Mm-hmm.
I broke.
How?
One of them. I fell out of a speeding golf cart and landed on one leg, and then got hit by the golf cart, and so I twisted all the way around, so my leg my ankle just kind of shattered.
Oh my goodness! And how many years ago was this?
I was 15.
Oh.
I was 15,
This
so it was
during,
like 19
during
years
your
ago.
wild days.
Yeah. That was like around the end of me being buck wild, because after that I was like, you know what? You don't always just get up. I've broken ribs. I've broken all my fingers and all my toes. Cracked my head open.
So
collarbone.
are these your inspiration for some of the stories you tell?
I really connect with a lot of superheroes because I've damaged myself in many ways, and I'm like, I can relate, man. This is how I think that would happen.
I think maybe they should consider you for a Punisher or something.
Yeah, right?
I think you're like the perfect person.
You know what? Give me a call.
Yeah.
I'm
Matt
down.
Rosenberg, maybe,
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's team up in that one.
There you go. So what would be your next dream project? I mean, I know Xena was one.
That's a really good question. I always talk about this, and I don't know who has the license, so it'll never happen, but I really loved Cleopatra 2525, which used to come on WB as well. It was a Gina Torres led show, and that, if I could just do comics of that forever. That would be great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, you know,
So whoever has the license, please, please,
contact her. Yeah, sure.
yeah, make it happen, make it work.
She's on Instagram, Facebook,
Facebook, Twitter. That's the place to get me is Twitter. I'm always on Twitter.
Alright, so you want to plug any books or anything?
Yeah, Morbius #1 just came out. Like we said, check it out if you like horror and science. James Bond #1 will be dropping in December, and my creator-owned book, The Wilds, is finally going to be in trade on the 27th, I think.
Nice.
So yeah, thank you. Please check that out. It is a post-apocalyptic book in which the zombies are beautiful instead of disgusting. It's like flowers growing out of them and stuff. So it's a good time.
Maybe Hollywood be coming knocking.
Oh, I hope so. Floral horror is where it's at.
I think
I
so,
wanna
yeah.
I wanna spread that.
Yeah, we're tired of the zombie apocalypse thing. You know?
Make it pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
Make it pretty.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Alright, and well, there you go. So we're gonna end it there. Thanks, Vita.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
The pleasure's all mine. So we're gonna probably edit this in about a month.